I feel now there is just one more function we need to write before we can start to then really write the big loop where the user presses a key, something happens, then the user presses another key, something else happens, and we continue. Or maybe two things, right? Because we still didn't move the ghosts, and the ghosts need some intelligence. Yeah, two things missing. Let's start with the simple one, which is the pills. So in this game, the Pac-Man wins the game if it eats all the pills before dying, right? And so this means the Pac-Man is walking into the map, and at some point, maybe the Pac-Man will get a pill. And what happens, what should happen is the pill simply disappears from the map because the Pac-Man ate the pill. But we should keep monitoring, the quantity of the pills in the map. Because once it gets to 0 pills, the Pac-Man wins. Yeah? So let's just try to understand what the code does if we eat a pill. So let's look at our map. So we are here, and just above us, or above the Pac-Man, there's a pill. So move up. So if the person presses move up, this will calculate the position. Right, next position is up to us. It is not an invalid key. Right, so this is not gonna return false. It is within the borders. It's not a wall, and it's not a ghost. So it will move the Pac-Man. So it will then call this move Pac-Man function, which, as we saw before, basically replaces whatever it is up there to a Pac-Man, right? So I think in this sense, the pill will disappear. We can even try this out before doing something. So if we go up, let's just try this. So we are here, there's a pill above us. So we went up, so the pill doesn't exist anymore. And we can even confirm that the pill doesn't exist anymore, because if we go right, you see, it's just a dot now. So in this sense, without doing nothing, we already explain it to the program how to eat pills, right? It's just, they simply disappear from the map. That's good. So now I think because of this behavior that is for free, right? I think what we can do now is to then write a function that counts the number of pills in the map. And if it's 0, we won the game. So let's do that. I'm gonna write this function maybe here. So let's call this function total pills. It receives a map. And how can we count the number of pills in the map? I'm gonna go for the simple way, which is let's go through the entire map using for loops. So for x in all the rows of the map, for y in all the columns, right? So x are the rows, y are the columns, and x and y will be all possible positions in the map. If map x and y, if this is equals to a pill, we just do total equals to total plus 1, right? So let's create a total variable here that starts with 0, and whenever we find a pill, we just do a plus 1, and we return the total number of pills. Very simple function, right? So again, it goes through the map. That's why the 2 loops here, looking for pills. If it finds a pill, it just plus 1 in the total variable, and it returns the total. Yeah, that's good. Now, where do we put this into the program? So one possibility would be to put this into the play function, right? So let's explore this possibility, because I guess it's going to make the code a little bit more complex. And maybe that's a good thing for you to exercise complex code a little bit. Later, maybe you can think of a way to simplify this. So let's see. We moved the Pac-Man, right? So the Pac-Man goes to the new position, and now we need to count the number of pills. So remaining pills in the map, and then we just call it total pills function, and it returns these remaining, the number of remaining pills, right? Yeah, so then I think what we can do here is if remaining pills equals to 0, we won the game, right? There are no pills in the map anymore, we won the game. So how do we return, or how do we make display function to also indicate to the user if the game is finished because we won the game? So this first one here is if it's a valid move or not. This one here is if we died because of if we are alive. Maybe the third one, right? It can be a third boolean here. So this one indicates that we won the game. The other case, it is a valid move. We are alive, but we did not win the game. So, and let's put false in all the others. So this is getting more complex, right? Let me even write this. The third boolean indicates whether the Pac-Man won the game. Yeah, so lots of booleans here. I'm not really sure I like that, but that's a beginning, right? Let's start with this, and then we see if we can find a way to do it better. Or maybe, yeah, maybe you, before I try to do this, you should think of how would you then change this, because you know this function returning 3 booleans, yeah, not the simplest thing ever. How would you change this? Great, so let me think. Maybe that's good enough for this video. See you in the next one.